Welcome everyone to episode 51. Wild that we're at 51, and you guys already know how excited I get when someone comes to visit me from out of town. I have my good friend Jim DeWitt here from DeWitt Insurance Group. How are you, friend?
I'm good.
Happy to have you here.
I've been here, like 20 minutes?
I got you in the seat. Listen, we don't have time to waste.
I just got off the plane like 20 minutes
literally
ago.
off the plane into the chair because we got to go eat some really good Cuban food.
That's right.
So, but we got to take care of business first. Tell everybody who you are, what you do, and all that fun stuff.
So I'm from Indianapolis. We have a independent insurance group, much like Ciara's, with my daughter. My wife and I initially started it, but then Kaylee took over, and we have 2 employees. We started in 2008, so we're chugging along, and we're just trying to, grow into the commercial space, kind of like you are.
Yeah. No, it's. I'm pretty sure that the market up there is obviously very different than here.
Right.
But it's got a little difficult for you guys, right? Recently.
Yeah, it's starting to smooth out. Like the rates are starting to calm down. The underwriting is starting to loosen up. The difference between us and Florida, which the funny part is that was my goal when we started this. My wife and I were gonna, about this time and during our careers, we were gonna move to Florida. That was before I knew how insurance worked in Florida.
Right.
I thought it was gonna be like Kaylee will take over. We'll come to Florida. We'll start one or buy one or something, because then we'll live here and we'll just do it. But then I learned, how different the market is. So that's kind of like the difference in Indiana. You have to use a lot of E&S, and that's kind of like a last resort for us. We have a lot of admitted carriers, a lot of preferred carriers, unless it's got, a business with a lot of hair on it. And
sure.
Personal lines is hardly ever E&S.
Right.
Unless they have
you guys don't really have any natural disasters.
Right, just tornadoes.
Tornadoes, okay.
The only time it ever goes to E&S is if someone has a lot of claims, and
sure.
We can't find a preferred. It has to go in E&S, but businesses, it would always be roofers,
right?
Stuff,
the complex stuff
that's hazardous and nobody wants to touch.
Right. Tell us about opening up in 2008. What was that like? What did you do prior, and what led you to entrepreneurship?
So I've always been kind of fascinated with it. I actually started a paper out when I talked my dad into letting me have one when I was in 2nd grade. The girl across the street actually had it, and I would sub for her, and then she got tired of it, and I begged my dad to let me have it. And we lived in a small town, and by the time it was over with, there was 3 paper routes in town for the same paper. By the time it was over with, I had the whole town basically.
The whole town, yeah.
So I've always been not very good with authority, and
okay.
Someone tell me what to do all the time, and I don't like being defined by you work 8 to 5 and this is how much you get paid. I don't care how hard you work or how little you work. That's what you're getting paid. So I like business ownership, because then you can reap whatever you want to put into it, you can get out of it.
Right.
And so the reason I got into insurance is actually I was going to Purdue, and one of my parents' friends was a pretty big hitter with Prudential financial planning. And they went to Florida, and he goes, let's go to lunch. And so we went to lunch, and he goes, how do you like college? I go, I hate it. He goes, why do you hate it? I go, because I don't like being broke. I like money. I like to do things. And at the time, I was also working at a factory that made semi-trailers. And he goes, how do you like that? And I go, I hate factory work. He's like, what do you don't like about it? And just what I mentioned, doesn't matter how hard I work.
Right. You're capped.
I'm capped. And I was already at the top in college. And so then he started talking to me about it, and long story short, I didn't finish college, and I went to work for Prudential.
Oh, okay.
And I was 21. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of different, 21 years old. And back then it was more financial planning, life insurance, with a little bit of P&C sprinkled in just to try to get in the door. What didn't take me long to figure out that I didn't like being restricted to just one company, which was Prudential. So I didn't do that I did 3 years, 3 years, and then thought I was going to go back to college. So never did do that. Went part-time, but then my uncle actually got into the business too with Prudential, and he started working with teachers. So teachers and public service, like firefighters, policemen, they had a true retirement where many people didn't, and they also have a 403B. So that's daytime work. Because at what I was doing when I started, you're meeting with people in the evening after work,
Right,
talking about life insurance
Right.
and home and auto, and you're working till 9 o'clock at night.
Right. And you're going to their house.
Yeah. It's and I was like, this is got to be a better way. So he was doing the daytime stuff, because you go see teachers and firefighters and policemen, and you get like 20 of them in a room, and you give them a seminar, and they, it's a really good thing. Well, I started working with him on that. He likes to play golf a lot. And
golf always gets people.
Yeah, well, that, and then so we'd get some big cases, and he'd get a little cash build up, and then he wants to like coast and play golf. And I'm like kind of the opposite. I want, like, I get a little taste, I want more and more.
Right.
So we never really clicked with that. And then I got in with a family that owns a really nice trucking company in Indianapolis, and so I was doing that too, and I bought a semi and did it myself for a while. Then I hired people and thought I was going to have, a bunch of trucks. Well, then I quickly found out that dealing with truck drivers is kind of a whole different.
It's very different.
Whole different animal.
Correct. Even on the insurance side. Like, I don't write any trucking.
Oh, all the carriers that are good at trucking want me to do it because
you know the language.
Yeah, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, it's
no
tough.
way, Jose.
Yeah.
So then I got married, and I was like, I can't do this trucking thing because I don't want to be gone and stuff like that. So I started partnered up with him again, and was going to have a P&C agency. So we were searching around, trying to find a way to do it, because you just can't go out and start one. It's even harder now. I mean, you have to have like some kind of...
Yeah, only people like me do that.
Yeah.
You start from zero.
Yeah. Well, you have a little different advantage because you have all the ENS, like anybody will do.
And I had the experience.
Yeah, and you have that and the connections. So I was like doing I would do the case prep and stuff like that and the back office stuff so I could still do my regular job for him. And then, he was going to buckle down and we were going to go for it this time. Well, it didn't. And then he also got sick. So, my wife was not doing anything at the time. And I'm like, well, one thing I did learn at Prudential, it's a good way to get into the door is P&C. And I was still like on the financial planning train. I was not had anything to do with P&C.
It's so wild how people that get into this industry or, insurance sales, if you are not born like me, I wasn't born into it. My parents did this when they were 50, but if your family's not in the P&C side, the people that come into this side, it's through life insurance.
Right.
It's through the financial services that they come in. It's so wild how people are so attracted to that. Well,
the other thing was, besides being independent versus, just have one carrier, is not everybody is in a position or wants to talk about financial plan. It's kind of like pulling teeth to get like conversations, and it's hard, and everybody needs property and casualty. Right. Everybody needs auto. Everybody needs home. Everybody needs. Everything you look around, it needs insured. So that's what attracted me to it is
more opportunity.
You can be like a hunter. So and there's plenty to hunt. So if you just put yourself in the right position and put your mind to it, then you can grow. It doesn't matter if I talk to multiple people, but they're not in a position to, and I would much rather, selling cars, boats, houses, those are all really neat things to sell. And insurance is not so much, but everybody needs it. And everybody doesn't need, it's sick. Those items are cyclical. I think the last time I saw like the average mortgage or house is like every 7 to 12 years.
But even life insurance, right? Like the people that are open to it will consider it when they have discretionary income. Right. When it's like, okay, now I can afford $100 a month.
Right.
And I would venture to say that the day that they can't afford it,
they're going to
they cut that and the cable, but you can't cut the auto, you can't cut your homeowner's insurance. It's mandatory. That's even what I've noticed here at the bunker, building the bunker. I've realized that the best referrals come from people that work in industries where the insurance is a requirement for their business owners.
Right.
So because you don't have a choice, right? A government contractor, you don't have it. You need 9 types of insurance. It doesn't matter what you think, if you believe in it, if you don't want it, if you have a contract,
it's part of your process.
You have to, you're required to have it. So I've even switched that a little bit of trying to build relationships with people that serve those industries for the same reason. If they're required to have it, they might as well buy it from me.
And so I've always been like intrigued by different kinds of businesses. And if I had, $10 million, I could start all kinds of businesses and I'd be like so excited. But this allows me to like learn about other businesses and be around them and serve them at the same time and then grow my own.
Right.
So I get to learn a lot about a lot of different businesses and how they came about, how they progressed, how they failed, how they've grown. Maybe it's a family business. Maybe it's someone who struck out on their own and made it from nothing. So I find that interesting too, and it all works together with the insurance. So back to what I was talking about my wife, that was kind of the thing is like so there was no Affordable Care Act back at the time, and I always had to have health insurance because my wife has, health issues. So I was still going to do the financial planning thing because I could get group health. And she was going to wanted something to do so she could do the auto and home, and that's how we would get in the door, and we would like round out the accounts. And so then we just started growing like that, and it was, I tried with my uncle, I tried with Prudential, I tried with my uncle again. I'd always talked about it, and I was getting to the age where, like 2007, 2008, I was like, I need to just pull the trigger because I don't want to be the age I am right now and wish I would have did it. And then you have that to overcome. That I'm like much older now and I don't have as much time. So I'm like, if I fail, I still have time to recover because I'm still young enough back at the time. And then 2008, the the lending thing and the mortgage thing, all went to shit. And I tell people always say that must have been a very difficult time. Well, in my opinion, that's a perfect time because when things are, it's kind of like it has been the last, since 2020 to, recently, things have been kind of tougher. Inflation's been tougher. Rates have been tougher. So when things are flowing along and everybody's making all kinds of money and that, things just get overlooked. Like you don't care about the cable bill. You don't care about the insurance. You don't care about, all these bills. You just pay them because everything's great. Well, when things tighten up, which is what happened in 2008, I think it helped us because more people were open to having a conversation because they're trying to find a way to cut costs. They're calling the cable and saying, okay, we don't need these movie channels. They're getting an insurance bill and they're going, gosh, this bill has went up. We should probably talk to somebody. So I think it's actually in our line of work, kind of like it is now. It's a time where people are open to explore other options as far as insurance. And so that if you're like, that's what we've did the last couple of years, we've kind of doubled down on our marketing. Like a lot of people were worried and didn't want to do the extra work that, with all the quoting and the prospecting. And we kind of doubled down and dove right into it and said, this is the time to grow when other people are not. And when people are open to have conversations.
Well, especially because if you bring on the client when the times are rough, right, and you provide value at that time, then when it's easier, they'll remember that and they'll stay.
I would agree.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Tell me about, because I know you guys do a lot of networking.
Yes.
Tell me about what's your strategy with that in business. Are you guys strategizing? Kaylee goes here, you go here. What is your secret to the success in your networking?
So when we first started, we did B&I like a lot of people
we did too. And it worked very well for us. At my last agency, when we did personal lines, it works better for personal. We would have never left.
So my wife and I were both in a chapter.
Same with us.
And then when she got out of the business because for health reasons, Kaylee got into B&I and it helped. She was just out of college 1 year. So it helped her not only network, but it helped her like be around professionals and business owners.
If you don't
and grow professionally.
If you don't know how to network, B&I is a great place to start because it teaches you how to network, how to give referrals, how to develop relationships with people. I think it is a great stepping stone for sure.
So we don't advertise. We don't really spend any ad dollars on anything. We are boots on the ground. I mean, we join, like currently we're not in B&I anymore. We're more focused on growing our commercial. We have a really good base of personal lines and a really good network of lenders and realtors and some financial planners that we network with. And we're trying to grow that as well, but we're really starting to focus more on the commercial side. So we're both in a group of it's called Home Artisans of Indiana, and they're all people that are in the trades. They're either a business owner or a salesperson, a high-level salesperson, or a manager of a company that has to do with the trades. And we're since that's one of our niches in commercial insurance, that's why we're in it, because then we can hear about their daily struggles and learn what they're doing and kind of relate to them. And we don't have the same synergy like a designer and a painter would have, or a framer and a builder. But so we don't get as much out of it as they do, but we are kind of like, we call ourselves like support artisans. Like there's an attorney that specializes in that. There's a realtor, there's a lender, and then we're insurance. So that's basically what we focus on, like on a consistent basis. We've really ramped up our social media. The last, so what's this, 2020, February of 24, we started working with Crushing Content, and we post daily on different things on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram to try to grow our presence. We really don't get a lot of business out of it, like per se, but it keeps you like in the community and aware.
Yeah. People ask me, recently have asked me like, oh, like what's the ROI on everything that you're doing? And I was just like, am I going to sell a policy from it one day? Sure. But that's not what I'm doing it for brand awareness.
You know how you know when it's working? Because people say they won't comment or they won't like it, but then they'll say, hey, I saw that post.
So it's funny that you say that, because I was recently speaking in DC, and that's what I said about like my networking. I was so tired, which is one of the reasons why I started this podcast too, to kind of like just make more of an impact with an hour of my time, sitting at like a chamber lunch, with like 25 life coaches. Like, no, thank you. Right. So, my social media presence has allowed me to step back from networking. And so when I go somewhere and someone says to me, man, you're everywhere, I see you everywhere, I think to myself, it's working, because I'm not going to any evening events. Very rare. I used to be out of my house 3 nights a week.
Right. Same.
At a happy hour, out of this, out of that, where I'd come home exhausted and not really. First of all, you're either circling, you're either, it's the same people.
Right.
That already know you. And if they're not working with you, they're not going to work with you, or they're just the wrong people. Right. And so that's when I realized it's working, and I don't have to be anywhere. I don't have to be everywhere anymore, because my online presence has done the job. Right. That's what I want it to do. I'm not looking to sell a policy from it. I'm looking, first of all, to make the bunker look larger than it is.
Right.
Check. And make it seem like I'm just the most connected person in South Florida.
Well, I think the other thing to that is, if you go to a networking event for, say, an hour and a half, so you spend an hour and a half with these group of people, and then you're done. If you do something on social media or this, it's playing 24. It's playing at 2 a.m. if someone's watching it. It's playing next week. So I think you get a lot more exposure with that. And then, so I do this, but you already know this. I do this stupid taco thing every Tuesday.
Oh, I was going to ask you a question about that, but continue.
I post, this is how I know it works. I post a meme about it, and it doesn't get a lot. I mean, every now and then I'll get maybe 10, 15, maybe 20 comments, stuff like that, if it's real good. Most of the time it's, 5 or 6. But every week, at least once or twice a week, I'll run into somebody and they'll say something about it. And they may have never commented, so they're seeing it. And I subbed for Kaylee at her networking group a few weeks ago, and I sat down with this guy, and he introduced himself to me, and he goes, "You're Kaylee's dad?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I don't know why, but I feel like you like I feel like I know you like tacos, but I don't know why I know that." So that's where you know it's working.
Well, it's funny that you say that too, because I recently I made a post about med spas that are offering GLP-1s, and like knowing, hey, which I just learned this too. So if you are offering GLP-1s and the person that is using it is not a diabetic, it's only approved by the FDA for diabetes patients. So everyone else that's not diabetic and is taking it, it's not FDA approved. So does your insurance cover the use of drugs, or you prescribing them to not FDA approved? Like the post was about that. And I'm always speaking to attorneys and CPAs that help these business owners, because that's who my audience is online, on my socials. And an attorney sent me a direct message on Facebook maybe 2 weeks later saying, hey, she's on one, and said, hey, I saw your post about GLP-1 and I'm telling my doctor about it. He needs your information. She didn't comment and she didn't like it.
Right.
So they are watching.
Right.
I would say that more people are reading and not engaging.
Oh, for sure.
Most people don't engage.
By far.
So
I'm the same way.
Me too. I mean, it's impossible.
I try to be more
engage
intentional sometimes because I know how it works, and I'm like, I shouldn't be complaining about it if I'm not doing it myself. So I try to be like a little bit more, but I'm the same way.
There's an aspect of doing social media correct where you should be equally engaging on other people's things because of what we're just talking about. Other people are going to see your name. Other people in your community are going to see your name, and that's kind of like when I'm talking to people about this, it's just like, okay, for example, in your networking group, right? How many times do you guys meet a month?
Every other week.
Every other week. Okay. So, well, that's a lot. But like, for example, in my Miss Esquire group, right, where it's lunch once a week, you know, it's out of sight, out of mind. A lunch once a month. I'm sorry. It's once a month. A lunch once a month is not enough for people to think about me.
Right.
So what I make sure to do is connect with them on all my platforms. And then they're seeing me 3 times a week.
Right.
They're seeing my name. They're seeing my face. They're seeing my content. They're hearing my voice.
Right.
That's the sauce. It's presence. It's how are you being in front of these people when you're not in front of them physically.
Right.
So that's how I use my social media. So we're on the same page with that.
I would agree that also it gives people, like, I find myself like out and about and I'll see somebody that I've seen them on like a realtor or lender or business owner on social a lot. Never met them before in my life, but I might run into them in public somewhere. And you kind of already feel like you've started the relationship when you talk to them, and you've never talked to them, but you've seen them. So you can also gauge, because social media can be good and be bad.
Right.
So you can also gauge if it's someone you don't want to work with by if they go off the reservation and start posting stuff that, you don't think is appropriate or you don't agree with, or you don't want to align yourself with that. Right. So you can like nip that in the bud.
It's funny too. It's funny because I view that the same way as like, because, I think social proof is one of the low-hanging fruit that you can use when you're growing your social media presence. And it's like, if you're at that networking event, right, and you're posting maybe, for example, whoever spoke, right? That's my strategy. If I'm somewhere, I'm posting, let's say it's at an event. I'm going to post who spoke, what did I learn, and thank the venue or the organization for hosting it and bringing the community, right? It's always about them. It's never about me.
Right.
But that works backwards too, because if you're surrounded by people that have a bad reputation in the business world in your community,
right,
and you're always with them and you're always found with them and you're posting with them, it's the double-edged sword too.
Right.
Like it's good and bad, like you're saying. It's like, sometimes I see the internet has allowed people to appear larger than what they are. I mean, I'm using it for that, but really, you still have to be who you say you are in person,
right?
Because you will be found out.
Sure, and you also have to, like, let's be honest. Nobody wants to hear us post about insurance.
Right.
Ever.
100%.
Unless they have a problem.
Right.
So they're going to get turned off right off the bat. So we have to like find other ways, like my taco thing. I've been doing that for
it's so good.
15 years probably.
It's so good.
And but it's going to get people to like, and then every once in a while you throw some insurance stuff in there.
That's what I do. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's the we're not selling cool houses that people want to watch.
Right. It's not aesthetic.
Right.
It's what we're doing. But also,
and it's not tangible either.
Correct. And it's hated.
Right.
People hate to spend their money on insurance. So, but the thing is, to your point, it's like the timing of when people get to know you has now flipped on its head. Before it's like, I've heard you're a good insurance agent. Can you quote me? Can you save me some money? Maybe I'll like you. Now it's like, hey, like, what's your favorite taco spot? I love to eat there too. Like, oh, you do insurance? Cool. I need,
Right.
It's the way that the internet has changed buying behavior is that we want to do business with people that we like.
Right. And personally, I need to grow that. So that's hard. And kind of like you have pivoted to being more educational and stuff like that. I haven't did it so much yet. I'm still doing the taco stuff. And so I need, now that I have like an awareness, now I need to start parlaying some of that into some facts and some knowledge about, to get them interested. Like if they do, like you just talked about the, whatever it was about the diabetic
the medication,
thing, and someone found out about that. So I need to start doing stuff like that, whether it's work comp or whether it's cyber, just sprinkle in like that, because I've already got the other foundation built.
They really like you.
Now I need to kind of like capitalize on
They really like you, and it's a way to live in their minds, right? It's a way. The commercial space is a long play.
Right.
It's a long game. So it's like you just have to wait for either something to go wrong, a certificate to go bad, a claim, something, a contract to change where their insurance agent just can't handle it. You'd be surprised. That's happened. It's one of the reasons why I still haven't gotten into the personal lines market, because I do very little for our own insureds, but I don't talk about it. I refer most of it out. But it's one of the reasons I use it. Listen, commercial insurance is complex. Your insurance agent that does your home, which is also very complex here in Florida.
Right.
It's very hard for them to do both. This is all we do.
Sure. That's why we don't mess with health.
Right. Same.
We don't do, I don't do investments
it's
anymore.
It's very hard.
I don't do any kind of health. I don't do any kind of Medicare because in my opinion, you need to be focused on that. Correct. Because there's enrollment periods. And if you make a mistake on the agent end and don't get the proper plan in place for these people, whether it's their doctor or their network, and they can't change it for a year, that could be thousands of dollars that they've have to pay that because you made a mistake. Yeah. So yeah, that's to your point, what we just said, we don't do that. But I also think that we're in a good spot too, because as these insurance companies get bought and, VC money comes in and buys all these bigger agencies. So the normal business is not huge, and that's what they're going for, the huge stuff. Right. So if you're just a small business owner, you're kind of getting neglected.
Underserved.
In my opinion, you're just getting, if you're lucky, an inside account manager just sending you out a thing and renewing you. They're not like checking with you every year and seeing things have changed. And we've been able to like capitalize on that as kind of like being like a boutique kind of like service to these people, because contractors, for instance, I mean, they're a contractor, right? So more often than not, they're not an expert at insurance or accounting
or admin
or running their business. They need
all of the support.
They're hands-on. They can build stuff. They're contractors. Now, not all of them, but for the most part. So, and they're wearing all these hats and they don't have any help. So if you can be the person who steps in and helps them and guides them instead of just getting a renewal sent to you every year. And then the other thing is they can not have coverage because they can grow so fast, which happened during 2020. These contractors, we were all scared because we were heavy in contractors on the commercial side, that what's the first thing that happens when the economy goes bad? Construction. It goes down. I mean, people don't build. And we were all scared of that. Well, actually was the opposite during that period. And so they grew. Well, if you're not keeping a pulse on it, it's from the agent's standpoint, and they grow, and then all of a sudden they get an audit, and they either can't afford it or are upset at a minimum because they're paying 2 or 3 times more than they should to catch up, and then get going for the next year. That could put them down. So I mean, I think that there's a really good niche to capitalize on that when your agency's like us. Yeah.
I agree. I mean, we're basically running the same agencies here. We have the same strategies, just different geographic locations and geographic problems, I guess. So then back to the networking, what is your best tip? So the premise of the podcast is business owners, like, we have a great community, right? The insurance space has a phenomenal community. If you're alone in the insurance space, it's because you want to be.
Right.
Because there are communities for every kind of person, every level, every stage in business. They're out there.
And it's actually like, people wouldn't believe this, and I probably wouldn't have either a long time ago. It's like a giving community.
It is. Very.
Like, willing to help others out, and willing to like share your secrets, share your failures, so share your successes. So I think that's kind of the nature of insurance people, is that they want to help. Right. Like, why is insurance? It's to make you whole again, right? If something happens. So we get to play a part in that.
Right.
And most of the time, it's not a good experience. I mean, it can get, I mean, it could be a simple fender bender, but it can also be like a hurricane comes in, or a tornado comes in, and your house is gone.
Yeah.
So, I mean, or a fire or whatever. So, I mean, I think there's like a lot of, we all like to grow our business, and we like to help people, and we like to make money, but when you can really like be there when someone really,
that's when it matters,
needs something, then you really get the value of what you're doing every day.
Right.
And it's not so much about the money and all that stuff.
Right. So we have this community, but then how many other industries don't?
Right.
So that's one of the reasons why I started the pod, besides, trying to get back my time with networking, was to also provide resources for people that are new in business that maybe don't have the support that I have. So in that scenario of like, let's say it's, no matter the industry, someone's starting a business and they're breaking into the networking scene and they don't know how to network. They don't know where to start. What is your top two pieces of your top two tips for them to hone the skill of networking?
I would say find like a mentor type person and try to get advice from them on how they do it, and then network with their influence. Like my dad always used to tell me this, and everybody's parents did, is the people you hang around with are what you're going to be, whether it's good or bad.
Correct.
So it's the same way in business, probably even more so, because if you want to be successful, your chances of being successful, in my opinion, are a lot greater if you're surrounding yourself with other successful people, even if they're not in your industry, because they have the same mindset, they have the same. That's kind of what our networking group isn't all about. Networking, our home artisans, it's actually to build yourself better professionally and personally.
Those are my favorite groups.
Like we don't stand up and speak like BNI does. Like how BNI
right, and you say I had this referral. Thank you for closing.
We never
business.
do that.
Yeah.
We bring outside people in to make our businesses better, whether it be a SEO person, an attorney. We had one in on 2 weeks ago was my last meeting, or a week and a half ago. We had an immigration attorney in because, the trades has a lot of people that are Hispanic in Indiana and, well, everywhere actually. And
it's a problem.
That's a hurdle that they could be facing or maybe already facing. And so we bring that in, like and when 2020 hit, we had like our own little summit. Like because like I said, everybody thought, oh, the bottom's falling out.
Right.
And so we had it. What are we going to do? And then,
I would venture to say what you said about having professionals that are killing it in other industries is also, I think that's almost more valuable to see how other industries are handling their challenges and how they pivot and what works there, because all of us as insurance agents, we think as insurance agents.
Right.
But when you have a lender, or for example, I have someone coming on the pod. I think she booked it for October. She's on the Inc. 5000 and she's an estate planning attorney. I mean, I'm going to learn from her. Right. Yeah. And of like how about scaling, hiring, managing, culture, right? Like it's just that type of advice of how they do it, and then you can pick the stuff that applies to us. I think that is invaluable.
The other thing would be, as quick as you can, find out what your golden goose would be, so to speak, as far as the referral partners. Like I know you've mentioned about attorneys; they're very well for you. So in personal insurance, it's obviously lenders and realtors because they're talking about homes. The conversation about the homes. Right. So that was kind of the reason, other than we wanted to go commercial, that was one, and this other group at the same time as our BNI. This is one of the other reasons we decided to not be in BNI anymore. So when you go to BNI, there's maybe 20, 25, maybe 30 people. There's probably, in our line of work, 2, maybe 3 golden geese, but mainly it's the realtor, the lender. Everybody else is going to sprinkle in referrals
their
and
own,
stuff like
right,
that.
or their own insurance.
Yeah, every now and then. And if the realtor and the lender in the same group, the referral's probably more often than not the same person. So you're spending, an hour and a half every week. I totaled it all up, and an hour or 30 minutes before, 30 minutes after you're doing BNI, you're doing 1-to-1s and lunches.
And if you're super good, they're going to give you a responsibility. So so
I figured it was 40 hours a month minimum.
What you're saying then, which I like that you're bringing this up, it's not just, if you're going to start in networking, it's not just the monetary commitment. You have to consider your time and investment in it.
So I was like, and I didn't think all this on my own. I saw it on a couple LinkedIn posts, and then David Carruthers, we kind of talked about it. Why don't you go, if your golden goose is a lender, then go market all day with lenders.
Spend 40 hours
Go to
in
an
front of
office
lenders.
that has 6 lenders
Right.
and spend an hour, and you're getting in front of 6 golden geese.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, like, the other thing is, like, whatever your business is, find out what, if networking is how you want to try to grow and establish it, what would be a couple, 1 or 2 golden geese, kind of like in our niches in commercial, like we hang around contractors.
I think too that personally what's happened to me, and it took me a while to get there, but in order to find your golden goose, you need to know who you're looking to serve.
Right.
That is critical. So many people open a business without having any idea who their ideal prospect, who their ideal client is. If you are starting, especially in the consultation space, right? Like if you're a restaurant and you're a pizza restaurant, I mean, your ideal client is the one that's in a 10-mile radius that's going to order pizza from you, right? That's very different. But if you're in a consultation, like a financial planner, HR services, payroll, any of those types of things where you're looking to serve people, who are you looking to serve?
Right.
Because then you can't identify, you can't build your marketing, you can't build your messaging. Where are you going to go network?
And you're not going to be an expert in your field.
You're not going to be an expert. And you waste so much time. I would say, and it's so funny though, because I mean, we were in business, but when you start over. And we started over. And one of my best pieces of networking advice is skip the free events.
Yeah.
Don't go to the free events.
Nobody has anything vested in it.
No.
It's
They're
just
there for food.
Social.
It is pay. If you have to pay to play to go to an event, and it's not always this way, but I would guarantee that the more expensive the event, the higher quality the people.
Right.
It just is what it is. Because those people are there to grow their business, not for the free drink ticket.
Right.
You just get caught up in those happy hours.
I mean, I would agree totally on try to find out
Well, because imagine that, right? Like the lenders. Okay, but what kind of lenders? Like, for example, me or the realtors, right? Then maybe the realtors are more segmented. If you want do you want first time home buyer realtors, or do you want to partner with the luxury home realtors or the second home realtor?
So that's where we've like dialed in now.
Right.
We're trying to get our networking with lenders and realtors who are doing more affluent type. I mean, and let's be honest, when you're starting out, I was the same way. You're going to do it all. You're going to take anything because you got to pay the bills and you got to eat.
Right.
But as quick as you can get off.
Just think about it. Start developing
As quick as you can wean yourself off that mentality, you're going to get more successful. You're going to be better at your craft because you're going to do the same thing over and over and over again. You're not going to be doing this line of business one time, another one another time, then okay, how did I do that again?
And to your point, it's the language, right? Understanding their language, understanding their challenges. If you're going to be serving lenders, let's say you're a home inspector and realtors and lenders are your golden geese. Well, what are their challenges that your product can solve for them, right? Like what type of inspector are you where they would want to use you? Because you can't be too strict as a home inspector, because then you're killing their deals. They don't like it. Like there's an art to these relationships, and I would venture to say that the real estate transaction is by far the hardest transaction. There's like 7 to 9 people's hands, and you're just hoping someone doesn't drop the ball.
Right.
It's awful.
Just don't let it be the insurance. So that's kind of what we went to. When the insurance market got really tough, 2 years ago. Insurance people go around to lenders and realtors, and they're dropping off donuts and pins and taking them out to lunch and saying, "Send me your referrals. I can get them turned around. I'm the quickest. I'm independent." Everybody's spewing the same thing. So when we decided to double down, I was talking to some lender friends and realtor friends, and I kind of tested it before, but I pretty much knew what the answer was going to be. I asked them, I'm like, "So is everybody still bringing you donuts and stuff?" And they're like, "No." I'm like, "Why do you think that is?" "Because you're not busy, right?" And they're like, "Yeah, why?" I mean, same with the lender. They're not going to go around and network with realtors when there's no houses. And I'm like, "Well, we're going to double down. Here's what we want to do." So we set up time to come out, and like, we didn't like specifically say, hey, send us your referrals, but we said, "Hey, we're here to help." And we did lunch and learns like, "Hey, this is what we called it the State of the Union of Insurance."
I love that.
The state of the insurance market. And we did lunch and learns. Those were always the best. But if you can get in on, they're always looking for a speaker for their monthly meeting. It's only about 10 minutes. So, you just got to touch on it. but we established some relationships, but we also put on some 1 hour lunch and learns. And the question, you could tell it was working because the questions would go for an hour if they had the hour. And
but you see, that's value.
yeah, we provide a value. We're like, hey,
not donuts.
We're
The donuts are played out.
Right. We're like, hey, when you have a transaction or when things start going again, you don't want the insurance to, like, the example I always used was when I was younger, nobody got pre-approved for a mortgage. It just wasn't. Well, then finally that was like the norm, right? Like, get pre-approved or we're not even going and looking because I don't even know what you can afford. So now we tell lenders and realtors, same thing with insurance. As soon as you get a deal accepted,
right,
on the personal lines, start the insurance process and make sure you stay on it and get it done because, I mean, it has loosened up the last 6 months or so, but there was like 15
But the concept still applies.
Right.
Because it can still just, then everything's in a timeline like this. They're stressed, the buyer's stressed. It doesn't matter. The more time you work with it, the better job is done all around.
Right. So yeah, that's kind of our approach to networking is we're trying to like not be like a scavenger and say, hey, can you give me some, you give me some leads? Can you give me some business? We're trying to be like, if you give value to them, then they're just naturally,
well, you're a resource.
If they're a good person, they're naturally, or, a good business owner, or they're going to want to reciprocate and give back to you.
So there's this, well, I mean, that's literally what Alex Hormozy has built his entire business on, right? That's his whole, I read the second book, the $100 million leads, I think it is, or the ads.
So did you get the new book the other day?
Not yet.
It's like, it's like going viral all over social media.
So, but I did read, it was about the ads and how, and his whole approach is give 57 times and then 58 you ask. And they will, 99% of the people will say yes. That's what you do. And that's what you guys have done, right? On a time where they've been forgotten, you guys showed up to provide value.
Right.
So now when they need you, they're going to remember who provided them value.
Right. And the people that are bringing in donuts, they're going to get.
Too bad. Where were you?
Yeah. I'll eat your donut, but I'm not giving you.
Right. Where were you a year ago when I needed help?
When I needed to know why these roofs were not working or these trees needed trimmed.
And that approach that you guys did, which is so good, it's also, like you said, you're providing programming, which alleviates the broker, right? Of like having to find programming that's valuable too, because real estate agents will leave a brokerage if they're not getting value from an education perspective.
Right.
So you guys partnering at that level, right? From the broker standpoint, it's huge. It's huge.
That's kind of like our next step to start doing a similar thing in commercial insurance, which, you already kind of do it. We're like, you provide value. Like, hey, do you know what work comp is? Do you know how it can impact your business? Do you know how it can impact your bids? Do you know how it can impact your bottom line? Cyber insurance.
That's what I did with the bonds.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. That was a perfect example right there.
The bonds, because they don't understand it.
Right.
They don't understand what it takes to qualify. They don't understand how detrimental it is to run expenses through their business at the time of then qualifying for the next bid. They can't because their financials don't show up, but they've put $100,000 of personal expenses through the company. They don't know value, real tangible value, right?
People are gonna, good people that I want to work with and you want to work with, they're going to reciprocate
100%.
And if they don't, then, fortunately, like, I'm not going to say I don't want business, but we've been doing this for a while, and like, we fire people sometimes, or we choose not to do business with them because it's not a good fit. And that's kind of like
but that's why we became
like
entrepreneurs.
A good feeling. Yeah, it's a good feeling.
That's why you have the stresses that keep you at 2 o'clock, keep you up at 2 o'clock in the morning. You did that because you have the right to do that.
Right.
Right. We're not an employee where we have to take whoever comes. No, I get to run my business and I get to serve who I want to serve.
Well, that's what I've talked about it. We have a monthly meeting. I'm like, we are a business first. Like, you get paid, I get paid, we all get paid because we are a business. We just happen to sell insurance and not pizzas or build houses.
Correct.
So we still have to be profitable. So we can't have the wrong client that's not profitable. We can't have something that's not profitable, or we all suffer.
Or there's no business.
So it's kind of nice when you get from where I'll take anything, even, just whatever, to where you can like be more selective.
You have a threshold.
Be more selective.
Yeah, I agree. Next question for you. What do you think has been your biggest challenge in business?
Finding people to grow. It's so hard. So hard. Because I know you're not a last name insurance kind of person, but it's my last name.
Yeah.
And we tell people that all the time. Like, if you buy online or buy from a big company and you get a different person every time you call because, you know, the person you talk to is not there, or it's just another person answering, or you have a claim with a big carrier and you call in the call center and you get a different person every time, and they just want to get you off the phone and get on to the next one, right? You're going to get the same person with us. You know where we're at. Mm-hmm. My last name is there. There's social media. So I think that's the hardest part, is we're kind of picky because we want, that's kind of, you got to kind of get out of your own way a little bit, but you still have to like make sure you have the right people. And I think we finally like got some people that culture. Like I wasn't a big culture person, but I think it's a big difference. I mean,
well, I think that's changed with time, right? Like my mom worked for Equifax all of her life, literally since she was like 17 until they opened up an insurance agency, over 30 years. And I mean, you just do your job, right? Like, but I think it's another thing of the internet and my generation. They want to feel good where they work. They want to know that they're cared for. It's not just about the money. They want to have flexibility. It's harder. It's harder because if money solved all the problems, then everyone would be happy at work, right? If you're making money.
And then from an ownership standpoint, you want people that are not just going to work and punch a clock and just do the minute. We want them to, because back to what we talked about before, is nobody likes insurance until they need it, right? But when they need it, they love it or want to love it and want it to take care of them. So we're taking care of people in their, you know, one of their dark hours. So we want people on our team that are going to feel the same way and be helpful, not just like, oh, well, that's like how it
bothered,
is. Yeah,
right, or transactional.
I don't want to, I got to go. It's 5.
Right.
So, I mean, I would say that's the biggest challenge, is trying to find people to grow. And you know, that's probably why we've not grown more than we have, is because we don't have we never had a good plan to find that, but I think we're on the right track now. And so I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that's,
and it's that way in every business. I mean,
every
any
industry,
business owner, that's what they're going to tell you. The
course.
hardest thing is finding people and the right people.
People is the hardest part of business, for sure.
Right.
Absolutely. It's just, I mean, especially when you have a team of people, more than one person. I mean, they're not motivated the same. The work ethic isn't the same. What they need from you isn't the same. So it's like, it's how do you scale and how do you drive a ship, you know, with so many different factors. It's
and if
difficult.
You're going to be together, I mean, I know there's remote and all that stuff now, but
that's its own challenge.
For the most part, even when you're remote, you're still like kind of together working.
Right.
So you want to be around people who are rowing the same way,
and that you like,
thinking the same way. You like to be around them. I mean, everybody's worked somewhere where they couldn't stand someone they're working with. It's just miserable.
I had someone on the pod. His name is Mariano. He's probably episode is in the 20s, and he's very simple, kind of like Eric Roberts, right? His approach to business is very uncomplicated, very simple. And he's just like, I asked him about his hiring strategy and all that. And he goes, this answer, you're going to think it's garbage, but it's literally the truth. If I cannot go have a beer with you, I will not hire you.
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, really, that does boil it down.
I would even go one step further and put the people you network and your clients to an extent. You want them to be someone. You don't have to be buddies.
No, but
you don't have to go have beers. But you don't want somebody who, like, every time
you dread
the phone rings, and you're like, oh, not this person. I mean, that's not good. And then you're asking your staff to do it, and then they're going to have the same thing, and then it's just it's a trickle down effect. So yeah, I think that's a great point.
What is the best business lesson you've learned on your journey of entrepreneurship?
To get out of my own way sometimes.
How?
Try.
How do you do it?
You can't. You got to delegate, and you got to like let other people make decisions and trust that it'll work out. It's not always going to be the right decision. It's not always going to be what you would have did. Sometimes it could be better than you. And as you grow, I think, I mean, this is my goal is as you grow, whatever you're not good at, try to hire that. It's kind of like traction, right? I mean, we're lucky, I think. So, Traction's a visionary and an implementer. I'm the visionary. Like I can have all kinds of crazy dreams. Like I said, if I had millions of dollars, I could I'd be so ADD. I'd have like 20 businesses. And Kaylee's like the opposite.
She's the integrator.
So I'm lucky. We fit. So I think that could go, another step further. Like as you build out your team, you need to find people that are good in different areas because our goal is to run our business, not work in it, right? I mean, that's the only way you can grow and scale, and you can't be the networker, the salesperson, the customer service person, the payroll person. I mean, so same thing we talked about with the contractors. They can't do it all. So you got to.
Well, that's why the people part of this business is so hard.
Right.
That's what it is. That's why, because you open a business and obviously you're aware you're going to have to hire at some point, right? But then what's the first position you hire for? If there's a million opinions about this, right? You should hire an executive assistant. You should hire, someone,
a virtual employee.
Yeah. You should hire someone to do your sales. Sales cures everything. Or you need to have your SOPs. There's so many opinions about what to do and how to do it. And so I would say, to your point, moving out of your own way is just doing it. Pull the trigger. Because action is the only thing that cures anything.
Right.
So if you're just caught up in this idea of like overthinking of what's my first hire, is it going to be right? Is it going to be wrong? Even if it's wrong, it's right because you learned. You learned what not to hire the next time. You learned what to look for the next.
Been there, done that.
That's what you have to look at, even when it's a bad hire, even when you make the mistakes. You learn what not to do again.
And it also empowers your employees. I mean, you want to empower them so they feel like they have a vested interest. Not just collecting it. I mean, we just talked about before, we want people that care. Well, if they're just collecting a check and they have no other vested interest in the business, like input with procedures or anything, then it's just a check and a job. If you let them have input,
ownership of their position. Yes, I've heard that too. I actually was talking to a friend of mine, to D, recently, and she worked at a hospital. And now she works at a different one. And she says, man, when I worked at this other place, I would bring like suggestions of like process improvement of like, why do we do things this way? I think we can do it this way. And everything would be shut down. And here they look for her. They tell her, hey, we can't solve this. Think about it. And you see what you can do.
Right.
She got a raise. She got more, all of that. But what she talks about is they actually listen to me. Yeah, they implement my ideas.
And I'm sure she feels better going to that job than she does 100%. The other, because you're getting shut down all the time.
You're getting shut down all the time. So your morale, so then you stop caring, right? Your morale just hits the floor. No, I agree with that 100%.
And in the insurance business, we're like, I don't know if there's any business that's more people person than us. I mean, the people that are working with us and then the people we're trying to serve.
Yeah, this is a very relationship-based business. And it's tough on all fronts. Relationships with us and our referral partners, our clients, relationships with our brokers, our carriers. I mean, this is a
everybody knows 10 insurance people, right?
Correct. I would venture to say realtors are probably the ones that are more relationship focused.
Right.
And then we're not. Well, it's like realtor, lender, us.
Right.
100%.
So yeah, I think I would agree with all that.
Last question for you. Maybe two more. Where do you get all the taco memes? Like, how do you keep this up? They're so good.
Well, there's like a couple different Facebook groups, and I save them.
I love it.
Another reason I know people watch it, people send them to me.
I love that
all the time.
Yep.
So my goal.
So it's a group effort sometimes. Yeah.
So I haven't got the chance that it's on my to-do list, but they're just memes. I want to take it a step further, and like speak the meme myself.
Right.
Instead of just posting a meme, like speak it. Like I can't think of one. I've got a bunch saved that I don't.
love that.
I try to post the ones that I could never really like sit here and speak.
Correct.
But I'd like to do like every week. And I don't eat tacos like even near what people think I do.
But that's the power of the internet.
Right, yeah. They think I'm smashing them every Tuesday, but I hardly ever do.
The people are going to be disappointed to hear that.
The cat's out of the bag.
Yeah. Hey, guess what? He actually hates tacos.
No, I love tacos. I do love them, but
Yeah.
I don't eat the same thing.
Correct.
But no, like I would like to take like, I can't think of one right now, but whatever a meme was, like be sitting at a taco place and eating a taco and just speak the meme.
Right.
Like I think one of them was something like, I would have to get on my phone and look because I have like a whole cache.
I love that. That you have. That
it's
you
like
have
take it one step further, and then like Chris Langill's been on me, and so is David Carruthers. Like you need to do a thing about the top 5 places to get tacos.
I was going to tell you that off air.
The top 5 places, because they're all over town.
Yeah.
Okay, so the top 5 places, if you
like this kind,
we're trying to niche to contractors, right? And they're always out and about grabbing lunch. Okay, if you're a contractor and you're in the north side of Indianapolis, these are the 5 best places to go grab tacos.
You're missing the boat, dude.
So
you gotta do it.
I know.
Put it on 2025.
It's gonna happen.
You have to. You're absolutely.
It's public now. I have
but
to do
yeah,
it.
you're already the taco guy.
You guys all have to hold me accountable.
Yeah. No, they're right. They're right about that. Last question. This is the last question. What is the best book you've ever read that you would suggest for a business owner to read that has had the most impact in your entrepreneurship?
Gosh, I don't know. I'd have to think. I know this is going to sound like I'm a homer, and the extra 2 minutes is a really, really good book. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like what we've been talking about, right? We're going the extra step.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that's necessarily made the biggest impact because it's kind of put me on the spot here. But
I love to do that
because I've read like a lot of books, but that is a good book of how to differentiate yourself from, like we just mentioned, there's
all the noise.
There's insurance people everywhere, all the noise. Why are we different? So we're going the extra mile, and that's what we did with educating the state of the insurance. We went the extra 2 minutes and did. Mm-hmm. So I would say that's a very good book.
Yeah, I would agree. No, I think
and it's not only insurance related, right?
It's in every business. It's basics of business.
You could be building a house. Okay,
right.
do the extra.
Well, I mean, it's life, really.
Right.
If you did everything that way, you would be a
hold the door open for somebody.
Human being.
Take your cart back to the cart.
Well, I mean, I don't do that. But it's Florida.
Ciara,
it's South Florida. No, I'm leaving it for the next person. That's what I'm doing.
Pet peeve.
Listen,
it's like one of my.
We're still friends. Well, you definitely can't live here because nobody takes her cart back. We leave it for the next person.
Costco is the worst in Indianapolis. It is the worst, and I see them blow up against your car.
There's a Publix right here.
Drives me insane.
You're going to be mortified. Thank you so much, my friend, for spending time. First of all, coming to visit me.
Yeah,
I appreciate it, and thanks for spending time with us and giving us.
We're gonna go see my team, the Cardinals, play in Miami tonight with Ciara and Jordan.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a good time.
And we've been talking about. I don't need much of an excuse to get to Florida. It's my favorite place in the United States.
I love that. I love that. I'm lucky me. I'm the one that's here.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much, and tell everybody where they can find you, your social media handles, or.
So,
your name on
obviously
Facebook.
Our company's DeWitt Insurance Group. On Facebook, I'm just Jim DeWitt. On Gmail, or not Gmail.
Instagram.
Yeah. Instagram, I'm the Jim DeWitt because there's you can't get it's too common of a name. Right. So it had to be the Jim DeWitt or this is Jim DeWitt. And actually, Aaron Levine put the Aaron Levine, and I'm like, that's what I'm going to do.
The Jim DeWitt is great.
And then on LinkedIn, I'm James DeWitt. Not really on YouTube.
Yeah, we'll put it in the show
I'm not
notes.
on the TikTok. I'm not on that.
The talk.
I'm on Twitter.
Yeah.
I don't really post, but
I'll put your professional ones on.
Yeah.
On the show notes. Thanks, friend.
Thank you.